Hey, what's up, my wolf pack? It's Wolfmaster, and today I'm coming at you with another Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. Today I'm going to be showing you my Nova Grappler deck, which I have just renamed Galactic Gladiators because I felt like Extreme Gladiators was, let's be honest, it was kind of dumb. But yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna start from grade 0, work my way up, so here we go. First, my starter is Extreme Battler Rumble. I think that's how it's pronounced. That's the way I say his name anyway. But yeah, his skill is Generation Break 1, and when a unit in the same column stands, he also stands also. It's basically Beast Deity Riot Horn with a Generation Break. Alright, next up in my trigger list for Extreme Battler Zambara, which is a critical trigger. For Red Lightning, another critical trigger. His ability is that when he's in the rear guard, you can put him into the soul and choose a card in your damage zone and flip it face up. So that really helps considering the deck is really counterblast heavy. Next up for stand triggers, Energy Girl. Her ability is Generation Break 1, and at the end of the battle that this unit boosted, you could choose one of your rear guards, stand it back up, and shuffle this unit back into the deck. And finally, for heals, which is for Regan Bogan. It's a heal trigger. No need to say anything else, do I? I mean, everybody knows how important a heal trigger is. Plus, I like this heal trigger over that new one I think his name is Ring Girl or something. I'm not really sure. I just like this one's design a little better. Okay, next up are my grade 1s of the deck. First, for Lady Cyclone, which is the perfect guard of the deck that can only protect your Vanguard. Yeah, its ability is that when it guards and you have a copy of her in the drop zone, you can unflip one card in your damage zone. Next up, for Extreme Battler Arisid. Again, that's just how I say his name. Yeah, his ability is that when he's called to the rear guard, you reveal a grade 3 in your hand, and then you search your deck for a card with a grade 3 card with Victor in its name, reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and then choose a card in your hand to discard. And his other ability is that he can count as a grade 3 when striding. Next up is 3 Final Wrench. His ability is Generation Break 1, and when a unit in the same column as him stands up due to a card effect, then it gets another 4,000 power until the end of turn, so this is really useful. And finally, for my grade 1s is 3 Extreme Battler Kendall. Before this card, I was running 3 Dancing Wolf in the deck, but the card really just wasn't me, and I know that sounds like kind of weird considering, like, you know, it's a wolf, it should belong in the deck, but I don't know, it just was not me. I have no idea why. I just like this card a little better. I love having that 8k boost in the back row. Okay, next up are my grade 2s of the deck. First up, for Cool Hank. His ability is Generation Break 1, and when he's boosted, when he attacks a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1, choose one of your rear guards, stand it back up, and then it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. But this ability can only be used once per turn, though. So yeah, this card's really useful. Okay, next up is pretty much the power of this deck, which is for Extreme Battler Sasanda. His ability is Generation Break 1, and when he stands due to an effect from one of your cards, then he gets plus 5,000 power until the end of a battle. So this card is awesome. Can't really say much about that thing. But yeah, for my last grade 2s of the deck is a 3 Starlight Hedgehog. If you don't know, her ability is that when she's called to the rear guard or placed onto the Vanguard circle, you could choose one of your rear guards, and it gets the ability where if it stands due to an effect by one of your cards, you can draw a card and then choose a card in the damage zone and flip it face up. This card's good considering I don't run draw triggers in this deck, but I'm seriously thinking about taking this card out for that promo card. I don't really remember the name of it, but like all I really remember about it is that it looks a lot like my friend Garrett. Like, he showed me that card, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so your avatar. Like, it looked just like him. And, I mean, hopefully you guys know which promo card I'm talking about, but yeah, I can't remember the darn thing's name for the life of me. Now moving on, we are getting into the grade 3s of the deck. First up is 2 Muscle Shrieks. He has 2 abilities. His first one is Generation Break 1, and when he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, you can counterblast 2 and choose 2 of your rear guards, stand them back up, and they get 2,000 power until the end of the turn. And his other ability is that when he's placed into the Vanguard circle, you can counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, and choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards, and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and if it has less power or equal power to the unit you chose, then you can retire that unit. So basically, if you had like an Extreme Battler Kendall behind, you can basically retire a Silent Tom if your opponent has one. So yeah, that's really, really useful. Next up for my grade 3s is 2 Extreme Battler Raybird. His abilities are Generation Break 1 when this unit attacks. I'm sorry, let me start over. His ability is Generation Break 1, and when his attack hits an opponent's Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and then choose one of your rear guards, stand it back up, and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. And his other ability is that when you stride on top of this card, then the unit you stride gets plus 5,000 power. So that's pretty good for the deck. Plus, I really like this guy's artwork. And finally, the main grade 3 of the deck, which is 4 Extreme Battler Victor. His first ability is Generation Break 2, and when he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, he gets plus 5,000 power until the end of that battle, and then his other effect is you can choose one of your rear guards, stand it up, and it gets 5,000 power until the end of the turn. And his stride ability is that when you stride on top of this unit, your new Vanguard gets this ability where you can counterblast 1 and then... I am so sorry. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy right now, but yeah, like, his stride ability is that when you stride on top of it, the Vanguard gets the ability where when it attacks an opponent's vanguard, you can counterblast one, choose one of your rear guards, stand it back up, and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. And that ability can only be used once. So, yeah, this card is just awesome. I mean, he's my avatar in this deck. Like, I just really love that artwork on him. I love that sword. I mean, it just looks so awesome. And finally is my grade 4s of the deck, or my G deck. First up is 4 Medio Kaiser Victon. And his ability is that when his attack hits an opponent's vanguard, you can choose one of your rear guards, stand it back up, and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of the turn. So this card's really good, although I am considering taking 2 of them out so I could put in 2 Snow Element Blizza to make Extreme Battler Victor's Generation Break activate a little faster. So, yeah, that's why I'm considering putting in Blizza. And finally, the boss stride of this deck. 4 Medio Kaiser Victoplasma. This card's ability is Counterblast 2. Choose a copy of him in your Generation deck that's face down and flip it face up. Then, sorry. Then, like, if the number of cards in your G zone is 2 or more, then this unit gets this ability. Like, it loses 1 drive check, so it goes down to twin drive. But his ability is that, like, after he attacks an opponent's vanguard, you can discard 2 cards from your hand and then stand this unit back up. So that is just really good. And yeah, like, this card, like, applies a lot of pressure onto the opponent, like, considering, like, if you have, like, a final wrench behind him, and he just gets stronger. Like, this card can be just, like, one big power play. That's all I can really say about it. Okay, and that was my Nova Grappler deck, my Galactic Gladiators. Let me know what you guys think about it. Like I said, I am planning to change a few cards in the deck. But yeah, this deck runs really great. So, good night, my wolf pack, and I will see you in the next video. Ow!